this podcast, Dari and Dari. How you did
What's
this
good,
week,
man?
Dari?
I had 65 points. Hello, everybody. 65 points.
Smash me again by 10 points.
Brought in Bruno, like I told you,
Nice.
and with the penalty taken as usual is in Bruno's bag. United doesn't need to play good. Bruno doesn't need to play good.
Just get penalties.
Yeah. So
That
it worked out. I had Son as well. I had Chilwell, Kufal.
Oh,
So
nice.
65 points.
I mean, those are some good positive moves. I
Yeah,
had a blank from Vardy, which kind of hurt, but I mean, I know a lot of people had. It wasn't too bad because it was average. I was on the average of 55 because a lot of guys I know captain either Ziyech or a lot of captains were on Mane as well. So it wasn't too bad. But the Bruno captains, congrats to all you guys.
Yeah, and the only thing that really hit me was I had Ross Barkley came off in like the second minute. That was not good.
I feel like that's typical Ross Barkley in junior season.
Yeah, and then Jimenez gave me a 5 points. So we'll discuss later, but Jimenez is my transfer out this week.
Ooh. We'll talk about our whole team. We'll talk about our whole team after.
Before we go any further and get into details, we want to shout out the top scorers of the week, who were Rab and Dab FC by Joel Francois. And Zesters United by my good friend Keith Tyson. Shout out. He's over there in Baltimore. Keith, my friend from primary school. and the leader of our league on 599 points. This guy is way out there. Bad Intentions with Wayne 4KT. So let's get into it now. Shout out all you guys doing way better than us.
I know, right? But let's start right there with the Wolves talk now, because I mean that was the last game of the week, and Wolves look like they're struggling to score. I think Jimenez is a ship out boy. I honestly think he had a ship out Jimenez. I know Traore started.
That's my out for this week. That's my out.
I lost the clean sheet with Kilman in the back. It was an overall disappointing game for Wolves.
Well, they had no Cody. I think he's under the COVID precautions, I believe. The main thing for me about Wolves from a non-FPL perspective is the past year or two they were a fun team to watch because they were going up against the big boys. They were very solid. And now I just think Wolves are becoming so boring to watch. Like, they're very boring, very predictable.
Yeah.
Yesterday, it was interesting to see that he brought back Adama up top, and then he had both Neves and Moutinho in the midfield because he has been alternating them of late. But Wolves are just becoming very boring.
I would say last year they were more exciting, but just came back to it, and I checked my fantasy team. I have Jota, and maybe Jota was one of the reasons why. Something that we didn't see, that's something we didn't see, but the Liverpool manager saw to bring him in. But maybe Jota was the reason why.
That's possible because Jota's replacements have been good. They have been exciting. Guys like Podence and Neto, they're exciting, but
I don't think they're clinical enough to create.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they have the end product because
right.
they're doing the work. They're doing the same work Jota was doing, but I just don't think they have the end product yet.
Yeah, and it's something that we didn't really see as honestly as a viewer. I didn't really see much from Jota to say that I would put him down as a big money move, but as a 15.
Well, the thing is. He's with better players now, so it's expected that the levels would rise and he would have better opportunities and stuff. Playing with guys like Salah who are going to take so much attention, Mane going to get so much attention. Just, defense is not game planning. Let's game plan for Jota. Coaches not sitting down there with the iPads. All right, we need, they would be ready for Mane, be ready for Salah, Wijnaldum. So that he's fitting in.
And I'm going to jump onto Liverpool. I made the move to bring in Jota this week, 6.5. I know with Salah out, he was going to start. Give me a goal. He could have given me 2 goals. But I think even at 6.5, he's a guy I think I'll keep in my team, even if Salah comes back and he does see the bench. He does seem to come on at the 70-something minute and get chances. I mean, he gets more chances than the whole Wolves starting 11.
Yeah.
So I think Jota is a good guy to keep. But on the Liverpool perspective, it looked good. It was very promising to see that without so many of their players, they had 3 goals, and they
Yeah,
dominated that game.
one thing we spoke last week, I think you were very high on Vardy going
Yeah.
against that diminished defense, and yeah, they kept the clean sheet.
Yeah. I mean, this
Robbo,
guy, what's his name? Harvey Barnes, Mr. Easy Setter.
Yeah, Robbo came through for his owners. Robbo did very well.
Robbo, hello down. Shout out to Robbo if you're listening on.
Yeah, Fabinho was back, so that solidified them a little bit.
Yeah,
but you saw they have to play one of the youths.
Yeah, no, they were good. They were overall a good team.
Yeah, I think the 2 main games we were looking forward to this weekend was Liverpool, Leicester, and the Spurs City. And it was always going to be a battle of is Brendan Rodgers going to come back and cause trouble for his former team. Right. As I said, you and a lot of people pretty high on the chances. Me as well, because of the depleted Liverpool defense. So it was good to see.
Yeah, it was end to end, but just Leicester didn't have that finished product at the time, and Tielemans just didn't show up. I think he didn't show up, and that was a big factor.
One good shot. He had one really good shot.
Yeah. Madison played a decent game, but Liverpool looked good, and I guess on FPL wise, I mean, Firmino scored. I can't believe in the life of God how this man is 9 point something. This Saturn FPL wise like 9. Firmino should be at best 7 to start. You know what I mean? 7.0. But Firmino got a goal.
I have one question for you out there, because you said you brought in Vardy last week. And Vardy's going to be...
I had brought in Jota last week. I had Vardy for a while now.
But Vardy's going to be my transfer this weekend for Jimenez, just basically for the team he's playing and not really for what he's doing so far. Right. But for me and the other people out there contemplating Vardy, make me feel a little more confident. Give me the reasons why Vardy is a good FPL asset going forward. Because, I mean, to the naked eye, he's just scoring penalties. So convince me.
No, because the Leicester attack, especially for a team like Fulham and majority of the Premier League teams that are trying to play out of the back, you've seen a lot of chances and I've seen a lot of giveaway balls in the midfield. And that counter-attack, even against the Liverpool team, I mean, Alisson made some crazy saves, but Vardy is out there. He stays fit. He stays on for 90 minutes. And he gets those breakaway chances no matter what. So there hasn't been a game I've really seen, except for the ones where he just got the penalties in. And he's on penalties. Against Fulham, I could definitely see, Leicester taking a lead and Fulham maybe pushing up. But Vardy could have two, three clear-cut chances to score in this game. And I can't see him blanking 2 day meets in a row. I'm captaining him in back-to-back again.
I might bring him in on captain. Second question, because you spoke about Harvey Barnes missing and stuff. So due to the fact that they are playing Fulham, do you recommend, other than Vardy, guys bringing in other Fulham players? Like, I already have Justin, but is this a game you would tell guys, okay, you already have Vardy, but bring in more Leicester guys because they could smash Fulham?
The thing about the Leicester team is that I feel like the other players are just so unpredictable with the chances that they get. I think Harvey Barnes gets a lot of chances, but I could see there is also rotation with Harvey Barnes, with Prayet coming in. So I see there's a lot of rotation. With Vardy, there's no rotation. With the other players, except for Tielemans, there is rotation that happens at Leicester. Even James Maddison, he's not guaranteed to play back-to-back starts. We haven't seen him. This was his first game starting and playing the full game. But would he play again, start play full game? We don't know about James Maddison yet. And we see a lot of rotation on the wings with Albrighton and the young Turkish player on the wing. What's his name again?
Cengiz Ünder.
Yeah, Ünder. And I mean, Ünder looks great. I feel Ünder should start, but I don't see players on a full 90-minute basis to get that start and to leave it on a perennial overall time. I think Harvey Barnes is unreliable for that price. He's still I think he is at the...
Yeah, because you can do a little more and probably get Grealish in your team. So I would agree with you there. But for this coming week, I will have Vardy and Justin. Next thing, let's move on to the City Spurs game. I think this was classic Jose. Things worked out for me in the sense that I was unfortunately a Salah owner, and with the COVID news, because my plan was to do Son to Bruno. And due to this Salah unfortunate events, I had to do Salah to Bruno. So I kept Son, and Son came back and he said to me, Dari, you see, you were going to sell me, and here's your point. So now I have to, a lot of gratitude towards Son for those points this week.
Son, if you're listening right now. I'm going to keep him
on my team now. Son, I've changed my mind. So what do you think about that game? And are you concerned also, the second part of that, are you concerned about like KDB, Sterling didn't even start, I believe. So City have only scored, I think, 9 goals or something like that, I was told, for this season, and they are usually the top scorers.
17, they had 17 at that same point last year.
So should we be worried about our City assets, or should we be confident? Talk to me about this game.
Very, very, very worried about the City assets. I'm big on watching City play. Very worried. The only people I could probably, as you say, one guy you pin out is Cancelo. I know he gets up there a lot, and his ability to score is good, but I'll be very concerned with the City assets because they haven't shown. I think what has happened is that similarly to what people did with Spain, when Spain had dropped and Barca dropped, is that people figure out the tactics of how to beat these teams. It's not a game of what look prettiest, is how you win the game. And Jose said, like, there is a game plan, there's a blueprint. There's no magic secret on how to beat City. They attack certain teams. They know where they attack. So what Spurs did was they put Sissoko to put in the back five, and he blocked the passing channels that Bernardo Silva and where David Silva fit in last time when they like to play that ball in. So simple blueprint, and everybody's using the same blueprint, not to maybe beat City, but to stop them from scoring goals. And unless City find a way, even if it's making the big diagonal switch or they change their tactics, until that day happens, they are going to struggle to score and get chances. City does not have a lot of shots on goal this season. So I would be concerned for KDB as great as he is. He still needs, the teams are going to pack 5 in the back, 6 in the back, and then look for the counter-attack. So I would be concerned. The defense isn't guaranteed to keep a clean sheet. So I would be concerned. And in that Spurs game, that's what Mourinho did. He put Sissoko and he put Ndombele in certain positions that stopped the passing channels.
Couple of quick points on me. Number one, a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if I said it on the show, but I know I thought it in my mind, which obviously now I believe I'm very wrong, is that when City signed Ruben Diaz, I just automatically assumed, okay, this guy's looking good. Pair him up with Laporte. City are automatically going to be better at the back. That was my thinking. City now have the platform where KDB and these guys could go forward and produce confidently, knowing how they have defenders who will stop things at the back. That so far I'm not seeing. Right. The second thing for me, because you gave Sissoko props, and which is rightly so, but you didn't call one name. Another guy I think deserve a lot of props from this game, and this is one that we did talk about, was Reguilon at the back for Spurs. This guy had a wonderful, wonderful game from that left back spot, and I think that was a great signing, and I'm sure right now Man United are regretting not doing that deal. Reguilon, Jose.
Oh, they had a chance to make a deal for him?
Yeah, I think he was offered to United, and they didn't take him. And remember, they ended up going for Alex Telles after.
Right.
And Reguilon is looking ready-made, man. Ready-made.
Yeah, I mean, and what Spurs did, I mean, it was not the sexiest football at all. But, I feel like, they'll come out the next game. They have Chelsea, and it might be a little bit more attack-minded, but they got the win. But going back to it again, you see, what I like about the Spurs team and the Spurs assets is that they're so predictable, right? You're not going to get points from certain. So certain players aren't giving you points. Similarly at Leicester, you don't know where the points are going to come from. But FPL-wise, Spurs, the way that they're built to attack, these points are going to come from Son, they're going to come from Kane, assists maybe from Reguilon, but it's 3-4 players that they're going to have the same players, So that's what I like about them. And
one last thing I want to say about City for me, because I beat myself up. I think one failure I've had this season is that I've never at any point owned like someone like a Calvert-Lewin. Guys who are doing really well. I am very down on myself for the fact that these guys have not been in my team for the season. But the other area I want to give myself props at the same time is I have owned no Man City players at any point for the season, not even for 1 week. And I feel justified on that now that, yeah, I haven't gotten KDB. Because, you know, at the start of the season, everybody's pick, KDB got to be in your team. KDB is the first pick in your team. And I feel good right now that I haven't had a City player. And I honestly cannot see now when I'm going to bring City players into my team. Because, as I said, this week it's going to be Vardy. And looking forward, City do have good fixtures coming up. I think also Leicester was one team having good fixtures coming up. So we do need to look at the teams with good fixtures, but I'm still at the same time wary of the Man City players. Let me just give you a quick run on here. Liverpool has good fixtures coming up. And I think the final team I was looking at was West Brom, but we don't really have West Brom assets. You may bring in one West Brom player and take a chance, but City have Burnley and Fulham and West Brom in the next 4.
Right.
These are games we would be taking. Okay, KDB automatic cap, Sterling in my team, Ferran Torres. Are you advising guys? I know we're gonna wrap up soon, but are you advising guys now to bring City? Should I change my stance and look now to City players, or just stay my route?
No, I think you took the good route there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is probably owned by 60% now. I checked he was around like 60%.
Don't drop it in. Don't drop it in.
I know. I had him and everything like that, but he's 7.8 now. It's just out of reach to bring him. I mean, it's still worth it to bring him in because, like I said, Everton is on the rise. I would love to bring in Everton players now. But in terms of City assets, I think that Burnley team is not going to give up 3 goals, and then you're playing FPL, so you want goals, even a City win by 1 goal is not good enough, FPL.
Yeah, but let me just repeat before you continue. Sorry to interrupt. 2 of City's next 4 games are Fulham and West Brom at home. Continue.
I know. It's crazy, but I could easily see Fulham and West Brom play. Could City break down 5 players in the back? That's what you have to look at. It's not because Fulham and West Brom aren't going to push up that much. You're going to play a defensive game, so you're going to ask are Fulham and West Brom, willing to sit in the back with 6? And the answer is probably yes. So City comes with that name and with their reputation of pinging the ball around, and teams know that now. They're predictable. Spurs are unpredictable. Chelsea's unpredictable. Liverpool is unpredictable on how they could get the attack. So that's where teams, you have to think about the mindset of other teams. Like, they don't know where their attacks are going to come from. So I think with City, I just can't see them scoring the 4, 5, 6 goals unless, they get a fit Sergio Aguero again, who gives them another element where he could create his own chances. But Jesus is not up to that par to create his own chances. And they only have really like KDB who's a game changer. They don't have no other game changers.
I think Kun should be getting back in a group soon. We'll see if he plays in the Champions League.
This man, he broke my heart with that one point when I captained him.
just before we wrap up, anything else for this past game week stood out to you before we talk up?
Just, you talking about just back to Bruno again and the Manchester United team. Again, that's a team that's still disjointed in attack. They got the result, so overall Man U fans will be excited, but still I just think that they just FPL-wise disjointed, and even you saw like Martial looks exciting, but he can't put away the easy chances, so
because Martial was my under the radar pick this week and he disappointed.
I mean, he had the chances, so you weren't far off. I mean, you did the most, you did 90% of the work, but Martial couldn't do the 10.
So for me, the one thing I would before we get out of here, I would say that stood out to me this week that I wasn't expecting was the Brighton win over Villa, and to see players who we had in our fantasy team in 2010 like Lallana and Welbeck producing the points. That was good to see a little vintage Welbeck finish. I thought that was a good finish on Welbeck. Villa kind of let us down there because a lot of guys would have brought in Watkins, guys would have brought in Grealish, Barkley, Mings, Cash, And the guy who got the goal was Konsa. I don't think a lot of people really focus on Konsa. So I brought in Target last week. Unfortunately, they lost the game and he didn't get a clean sheet. But Target was my buy. So I was really expecting big things from Villa this past game week, and Brighton did it. And I think now we have to look at these guys. Welbeck brings another cheap forward option.
I'll give him a couple more weeks, man, to see.
Yeah, but
it
seems the coach has trusted him. I think this was the second straight start. So
yeah, you're right.
That was the one thing that stood out to me. So I don't know if you have anything else before we wrap it up.
No, that's it. Like on the next show, we'll make the picks. We'll make our captaincy picks.
Yeah, we'll preview game week 10. This past week, I had some good picks. I had Maguire. United kept the clean sheet. I had Jimenez. He got the assist. Grealish failed to perform for me in my picks, but I think we up there on the picks now. We'll be very solid. We didn't even need to run over them. And I would just say, going into the next game week here, that Chelsea Spurs is going to be a big game because I have Werner, Chilwell, Kane, Son. So I don't even know what to do there.
All eyes on that. So.
Yeah, so we'll be back with our game week 10 preview. Thanks everyone watching.
All right, you guys.
To our league, and again, my guy Keith, 86 points. That's my friend from primary school. So one more shout out to Keith before we get out of here, man. So bless everybody.
All right, bless everybody. Come on.